welcome to Global Morning.
The death toll from flooding.
Most time our politicians just bring in policies too, for sure.
Incidentally, we have several more stories.
The legislature was carefully crafted to
22.2% inflation rates as of April this year. What does that say about where we are as a country?
I think Nigeria has resorted to being resilient.
Before you call a police station, before they even leave, they'll take permission from.
I don't think there's really anything on ground to improve.
We struggled as a strike.
The Minister of Education volunteered and said, give me 2 weeks.
It was a lie. The president never gave me any deadline.
Okay, now let's get Dr. Babayo Sule, Senior Lecturer, International Relations Department, Federal University of Keshere, Gombe State, on the program this morning. Thank you, Dr. Sule, for joining us on Global Morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning and good morning, listeners.
So I'm just going to ask you straight away, is it correct, politically or otherwise, to say Nigeria is becoming a one-party state?
Yes. Well, we can say in theory, Nigeria is a multi-party state because constitutionally the provision is all parties that meet the minimum requirement should be registered, even if it will take us to register 1,000 political parties. The constitution has legally provided that. But in practice, since 1999, we can say that Nigeria operates almost one-party system, because if you look at the way the former ruling People's Democratic Party, PDP, dominated the political arena for straight 16 years, almost marching on all oppositions, and the way APC from 2015 continued from where PDP stopped, we can say that practically Nigeria is dangerously trending towards a one-party system, even though by the provisions of the law, it is said to be multi-party system. From 1999 to date, we have registered over 100 political parties. Some of them were there since 1999. Some of them were deregistered. Some of them went into a merger. Some of them went to extinction. Some of them are still existing but inactive. But basically, there are only two parties to me that seemed to have the national outlook. That is the former ruling PDP and the current ruling APC. Well, we can say that maybe during the 2023 presidential election or invariably general election, some parties like the Labour Party and the NNPP made some giant efforts to give a big fight in terms of the contest at various levels, but still notwithstanding, they are unable to even secure. Well, we can say NNPP secured one hanging seat in Kano State that may likely be lost out soon. But apart from that, the Labour Party could not even manage to secure one state. So therefore, it is right, as you said, to assert that yes, Nigeria is trending toward a one-party system in practice, even though by the provision of the law, that is not what it's supposed to be.
I want us to talk about this story, Dr. Sule, that we're now hearing, that just on Wednesday here in Abuja, the PDP, NNPP, SDP, and some other 4 political parties had met to discuss the possibility of merger, even though we are now also hearing just this morning that there's the likelihood the PDP is pulling out or has already pulled out. What ideally, especially given the peculiarity of our political realities in Nigeria, should a merger look like?
Well, thank you very much. I think a merger should be purposely driven by desire for ideology, not just to wrest power. That is one of the problems with the Nigerian party coalition since the First Republic, the Second Republic, and then the current Fourth Republic. Most of the parties that went into a merger or coalition They are just doing it in order either to secure power or to control power, but not driven by the purpose of ideology. In the ideal climate, in a political situation, a merger is supposed to be motivated by likelihood of ideology, where some parties have the same ideology, whether they are to the left or to the right or to the center. That is whether they are liberal parties, social parties, communist parties, theocratic parties, or even mass parties or labor parties, or whatever their ideology is. They are supposed to come and form a merger, not just to wrestle power, not just to control power, but to promote their ideology, whether they are on power or whether they are outside power as an opposition party. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, this has not been so. If you reflect through the history in 1960, that merger between the NPC, the Northern People's Congress, and the NCNC, National Council for Nigerian Citizens, by Dr. Nandi Azikiwe, and the party of Sir Ahmadu Bello and Sir Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was met just purposely in order to form a government, because none of the parties during the 1959 federal elections was able to secure the majority to form the government. As it is with the tradition in the parliamentary system, you must have the majority in order to form the government by electing a prime minister from the parliament. So because no party is able to secure that, the MPC and the NPC just went into a merger, not because they have similar ideology, but just in order to have access to majority seats so that they can form a government and then elect the prime minister. Then if you look at what happened now in 2013 in the Fourth Republic, when APC came into a bin, they reiterated their position clearly that they formed that merger because they believe and they came into a contact with the reality that they will never defeat the incumbent ruling PDP until they form a strong merger, an opposition that will match the equal power and strength of the ruling PDP. That was the only way. But that should not be. Because if you look at it, for example, take CPC. When you ask them what is the ideology of the CPC, no one can tell you. When you ask them the former ANPP what is their ideology, they will not tell you. The same thing with the ACN. The same thing with the faction of the ABGA under Rochas Okorocha that joined the merger. The same thing with the new PDP that later joined the bandwagon of the APC in 2014. And then they eventually succeeded in wresting power from the ruling PDP. The target was just to capture power, to squeeze power in order to rule, not just in order to bring a change or to bring something different. Because if you look at what the APC has been doing from 2015 to date, it's just the exact continuation of what they blamed the PDP to have been doing in its former 16 years of rule, or even worse, or even the escalation of it. So in this regard, and to me, the current APC is just a former PDP, and the former PDP is just the present APC. Because once the APC captured the power control in the country, almost more than 70% of the PDP members defect or switched to APC and became members. And they are the ones now who are still actively in the party. That is why you will find the same action, the same attitude, the same political machinations without any changes, because it is just like the same me to remove my shirt and change it or replace it with another shirt. But my inner self and my attitude remain the same. So therefore, a typical merger should be a merger that is based on ideology. If you have an ideology, because right now, if you ask APC, they will tell you change. Change is a slogan, it's not an ideology. If you ask PDP, they will tell you power. Power is is a slogan, it's not an ideology. What ideology should be is what the party stands for and what it believes and what it will mobilize the voters from the grassroots level up to the national level to support the party based on that. In essence, ideology should be oriented in such a way that it will be able to now mobilize the followers to fund the party, to provide finances for the party because they believe in that ideology. And that ideology cannot be limited to some certain classification. It can be a liberal ideology, it can be Marxist ideology, it can be communist, it can be socialist, it can be theocratic, it can be mass, it can be national orientation, it can be mass party. It can take many forms, many structures, many systems, and many movements. But as it is now, to me, as you said, that is how the merger should be. But what the merger in the Nigerian context is just about how to capture power from the ruling party at all costs.
Interesting. So I was going to talk to you about the merger that we had seen between then, of course, the chieftain, some people said the leader of the ACN, now the president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu. I mean, look at what happened between 2013 and 2014, how the now president then had a kind of taking the initiative and provided leadership on that level to merge a pack of political parties, today known as the APC. Some people say, well, that may be a model for Nigeria. But I want us to talk about what the typical, if you like, concepts and practice of opposition should be. Because in Nigeria, for the most part, what we'll say is the APC does a project, the PDP casts against it. The PDP does a project, the APC badmouths it. Is that what opposition is all about?
No, not at all, unfortunately. But to be practical, worldwide, the opposition parties always accuse and always criticize the ruling party for its policies. I think this is one of the major tenets that the opposition use in order to capture power from the ruling party worldwide. We can see how America play it. We can see how they play it in UK. But unlike other environments, in the Nigerian context, we failed to establish a dividing line between national interest, foreign policy, public interest, and opposition. There are many things that when they happened in the United States of America or UK or France or even in some African politics, both the ruling and the opposition party forget their differences and focus on it because of national interest. For example, if there is going to be a disaster like the bombing in Kaduna, for example, now, or other matters of education or matters of health policy, or for example, during the COVID-19 pandemic or insecurity or other, these are matters that you have to drop opposition. You have to unite. In fact, if you have the gentle and subtle means of offering genuine advice that you know that will help the ruling party in order to get over it, to surmount the obstacles, you can do so. But unfortunately, in Nigeria, it has turned into something else. Whatever it is, they just find an opportunity. And to show you how it is, you will find that the same policy, the same program, the same action that Party A accused and criticized Party B will be the same action that now that Party A or Party B will now be doing when it assumes power. Let me give you an example of how APC, number one, APC has been very critical of insecurity during PDP. In fact, in 2013, immediately the APC was formed and registered, they asked President Jonathan to resign because he failed Nigerians and he failed to secure the lives and properties of Nigerians. But now, is the security better under APC? The answer is definitely no. Then, why have they been criticizing PDP and President Jonathan back then for them also to come and then have the same issue? Now the PDP is utilizing the same opportunity again to criticize APC, meaning that they are playing politics with critical national issues that should not be. Secondly, look at the issue of ASU strike, for example. President Jonathan wrote in his book, My Transition Hours, that when he invited the elected President Buhari to come for a kind of a farewell ceremony in the villa, he declined because according to him, why will I attend when the children of the masses are staying at home because of ASU strike? The government has money to settle them, but it refused. That why should I do that? I should be mourning. But then look at what happened under President Buhari. Prolonged exacerbated strike that were never experienced in the history of the country. Now look at the issue of economy. The APC castigated and condemned the PDP then back in 2013 and 14 that the PDP almost granted the Nigeria's economy to the doom. But look at the economy currently under the APC. Look at, for example, the issue of the malfunctioning of the refineries, Nigerian airways, railways, and other infrastructure. The APC castigated the PDP for destroying them, for not reviving them. But did APC revive them now almost more than 8 years? So that is not how it should be. An opposition is in such a way that, one, while there are some government policies that you can criticize, there are some critical national issues like, for example, security, education, health, foreign policy, that what you need to do is just to offer advice and to support. Number two, it is not in the orientation of the opposition parties that I must win an election. The issue should not be about winning an election. We should know that. Let me give us an example. During the 2020 presidential elections in the United States of America, apart from Donald Trump of the Republican and Joe Biden of the Democrat, there is a very good and strong candidate, Joe Johnson, in a party called Libertarian Party. I know most Nigerians, or rather most part of the world, are not even aware that such party exists in the United States. Opinion sample revealed that more than 40% are ready to go with the Joy Johnson. They like her, they wanted to vote for her. But unfortunately, they like him, they wanted to vote for him. But unfortunately, the problem is he was contesting under the platform of a smaller party. And the ideology of that party is not still clear to the Americans. Hadn't it been it is in the Nigerian environment, what this Joe Johnson will simply do is just to cross carpet to either APC or PDP, secure the ticket because he has the popularity of the majority voters, and then he will subsequently or eventually move ahead to maybe win the election. But Joe Johnson didn't do that. He is still in the Libertarian Party till date, and there is a possibility that he will still continue to contest in 2024 under the Libertarian, even if he is not going to win. There is also what is called a Green Party in the United States of America. That Green Party is a party that is utmostly with the purpose of promoting environmental sanity. From the word green, that is greener environment. But that party is not getting enough seat, is not getting the attention of the Americans because they are not conversant with the ideology of the party. So to this end, I think our opposition party, you know that in some environment, opposition parties are even playing the role of community services. For example, during the current economic hardship, the opposition parties should be playing the politics of providing palliatives. They should not just fold their arms, castigating the government that you destroy the economy, you are not providing sound programs for palliatives. They should join in providing palliatives in their own area of influence, and not just wait until you have access to public resources before you can do that, and then you allow the opposition to criticize you. So,
Dr. Soli, I would like to say a very big thank you to you, because I know you have a very busy schedule ahead of you. Then you also found time to join us here. Thank you so very much. Enjoy your weekend.
Yeah, thank you very much. Also, it is my pleasure.
And that's a wrap on the program, everyone. Thank you for watching. I'm Uyag Bofwebe. I'll see you again very soon.